All right, welcome to episode 7 of Arguing Sports with Cody Mitchell.
Billy Laughlin.
And in this episode, the NBA goes PG-13, Drake gets in the way again, and D-Rose is back. And that's not even counting Paul George.
This is the biggest story of the week.
Which it is. But let's start out with the small things. Drake, for some reason, thinks that Durant's going to come play for Toronto.
Why not?
Even though he is a fan of pretty much every team in the NBA. It's whoever's winning at the time.
Durant did want to play for the Raptors when he was little.
When he was little?
When he was little, yeah, he said that was his favorite team.
Really? I also at one point wanted to play for the Kansas City Royals. So, no, that didn't happen.
Well, he has a chance to. You don't.
I'm only 21. I mean, you can't rule anything out of here. Anyway, the Raptors are reportedly being fined $25,000 for Drake's comments at a recent concert that Durant was in attendance to, and I assume Drake will be sent the bill for that fine from the Raptors.
Lil Wayne will pay it.
Huh?
Lil Wayne will pay it.
Yeah, just for the hell of it. Well,
he is an ambassador for the Raptors, though. Drake.
And the Cavaliers. And the Heat last year.
And everybody else.
Yeah, and the Pacers 2 years ago. And the Bulls of the 90s. Anyway. So, and leading up to bigger news, and aside from the big story of the USA men's basketball camp, which of course is Paul George, D-Rose is back. Now, with that being said, with the injury to Paul George, is done for the year. I mean, even if he were able to come back, you wouldn't want him to risk that. He's done. You know, Larry Bird is in sleepless nights trying to figure out a way to get his team to even the playoffs this year, which I don't see it happening.
They got an injured player clause where they can sign any player to a 1-year deal to $5 million.
But who's
that's not part of their salary.
But who's out there? Who's out there that could help them get to the playoffs with all these other teams? I mean,
Eric Bledsoe. He's his last good one.
Bledsoe's not going to replace Paul George. I mean, they already let Stevenson go, and they were banking on just building completely around Paul George. And unless David, for Greg Monroe.
No, they're trying to trade him and Chris Copeland for Goran Dragic, and the Suns turned that down quick.
Well, reports are coming out now that
who's Greg Monroe? He's Roy Hibbert.
Greg Monroe's right now is a better player than Roy Hibbert. I mean, if it's Roy Hibbert of playoffs, if it's Roy Hibbert of 2 years ago, then no. But Greg Monroe is a good physical player. He can get you something, which they're getting nothing from him right now.
No, 0-0.
No. So, with Paul George's injury and the rising of D. Rose out of the USA men's basketball camp, it's pretty safe to say, right now, in my opinion, pending, the trade is. Everybody's saying the trade, it's coming. It cannot be made official until the 23rd. It could still possibility it not happen.
It could be vetoed.
It could be vetoed by Adam Silver in the NBA. So, without Kevin Love on that team, right now, Chicago is the best team in the East.
To you.
To me, and to a lot of other people.
To a lot of people, they pick Cleveland.
LeBron, I don't care about LeBron.
That's the problem.
But when I look at a team that's got Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler, Doug McBuckets, Pau Gasol, Joakim Noah, Taj Gibson, Kirk Heinrich, that is a depth team, that is a grinding team, that is a well-experienced team. And even McDermott, he may be a rookie, but he's a rookie that's not scared of anything and he knows how to win.
Well, I'll tell you another rookie knows how to win. It's not scared of anything. If it doesn't happen, we will have Andrew Wiggins. We will still have
I still don't see it.
Kyrie Irving, who was All-Star MVP last year, the best basketball player in the world.
Let me put it this way: when we ranked them a couple weeks ago, you remember how close we put Cleveland, Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
That's how close I view them now.
Okay, what if they get Love? Then you're still putting Chicago above them.
If they get Love, then it's back to the way it was before. If they get Love, then I rank Cleveland just a hair bit higher than Chicago, but just a little bit.
We'll see in the playoffs.
But as of right now, without Love, Chicago is ahead of Cleveland.
There's only one reason I'm putting Cleveland above Chicago. It's not just because of their team. It's because there's no one on Bulls that can stop LeBron. And LeBron has shown in the past that he can make Derrick Rose look like he's not even in the game.
I think Taj Gibson,
too big, too slow.
McDermott, and Jimmy Butler can all guard
3-on-1.
Not at the same time.
Well, nobody on that team can guard him 1-on-1.
I think Jimmy Butler can.
He's too small. LeBron will put him in the post and just easy.
Cephalosha.
He plays for Laws.
I'm not. But Cephalosha's smaller than LeBron though.
Yeah.
And he was still a stopper. Tony Allen's not the biggest guy in the league.
But he's strong.
But he can shut down anybody.
Jimmy Butler is not Taj.
Hey,
Cephalosha or
let me tell you this. LeBron's gone on a no carb diet.
He ain't lost any strength though. People's been saying he's got stronger.
You don't cut carbs. When you cut carbs, you lose muscle. Everything that he's lost in those pictures, I will tell it to him. I will tell it to him.
Still 260 pounds.
So, like I said, Chicago, I think, is the best team in the East, followed very closely by the Cavaliers, and then the Wizards. Pacers are dropped.
Probably out of the playoffs.
I don't put them in the playoffs. You're right.
Unfortunately.
To me, at 4, Miami, and then 5, Toronto. After that,
we'll see how the playoffs go.
But I see Chicago as the best team, especially McDermott. Look, did you see his numbers? Look at his numbers.
I'm tired of using this McDermott.
McBuckets. They don't call him that for no reason.
All right.
LeBron wishes he had a name like that.
No, his name is the King.
That's not even a nickname.
King?
That's any petty guy that owned at least 100 acres of land over in the Middle East in the 18th, 19th century called themselves a king. When you have a nickname like McBuckets, look at Burger King. Is that what he is?
He's a king. He's a king of McBuckets.
He can't have it his way.
He's a king of all the NBA players.
He can't have it his way.
He does.
He was a king of David Stern.
He does have this.
He was a king of David Stern. There's a new chapter now. Adam Silver is going to be nobody's boy toy. All right.
Besides
the look in his eyes, the look of pure power, and he ain't going to take no crap from nobody.
Don't say don't disrespect David Stern like that.
I'm not disrespecting David Stern. I'm disrespecting LeBron.
Don't do either.
Anyway, in more important news, than LeBron, in more exciting news, anyway, Paul George won his, he applied or put in to change his numbers since he was staying on the same team. And he was granted that. So he will now be PG-13. How do you feel about that? You don't like the rated R superstar?
I like 24.
I like 13.
That's when I see numbers, I think about who else is on that number.
And of course, my favorite player right now for the Cardinals is Matt Carpenter, who is also 13.
Can you think of any other NBA players who were 13? All I think of is Steve Nash. And
he's not. It's not a very.
When you say 24,
it's a superstitious number.
That's why.
What do you think of when you say 23? Jordan.
Well, it depends.
No, that depends.
I think of LeBron.
Depends is what you're going to wear when you're 50 years old.
23.
Anyway.
I don't know, just because I was a Cleveland fan, and LeBron is still LeBron.
So, I know we touched on this last week, or a couple weeks ago, but, how do you feel about when he left Cleveland? He said, he literally said that he didn't pretty much nobody needed to wear 23.
He did say that, yeah.
He literally said it, and now he comes back and all of a sudden I'll wear 23 again. I changed my mind. I don't want 6 anymore.
Remember his Mount Rushmore. Jordan, Bird, Magic, Bill Russell. And he said he's going to be on that Mount Rushmore. He said he's going to take one of them off. LeBron has that same mentality that Jordan and Magic and Larry Bird did. He knows he's about to be one of the best ever. So for 4 years ago, he just, I don't have any championships. I can't compare myself to these guys. He can now. So now he's thinking, you know what? Maybe I deserve to wear number 23. And he does.
See?
If anybody ever does deserve to wear that number, it's him.
Here's the way I look at it. Chicago has his number retired, correctly?
Right.
Or correct? In the MLB, there's only one number that's retired throughout the entire
42?
league, 42. Now, I'm not putting Michael Jordan in the same category as Jackie Robinson as opposed to what they did for their sport, because Michael Jordan did not break the racial barrier in basketball.
Bill
But
Russell did.
right, but
So why don't they retire his number? Number 6.
I think they should. Boston has it retired.
He has
Yeah.
almost twice as many rings as Jordan.
Well, what I'm saying is, MLB retired his number for what he did for the sport. But, Babe Ruth's number isn't retired throughout the league. Stan the Man's number isn't retired throughout the league. Derek Jeter's number won't be retired. Ty Cobb.
It's just two different things then. He done something for the league, and so he deserved it. They're just they're great players.
But would you be comfortable? Would you agree if the NBA decided one day, we're gonna induct this Hall of Fame class, and we're going to retire their numbers. We're gonna retire 33. We're gonna retire 23. We're gonna retire
it's not fair though.
6. I mean, but how would you agree with that?
I would agree, but
Or every year,
they can't just keep
every
retiring
year they
numbers.
pick one deserving person and retire their number.
See, that's not right though. Because a lot of players who wear their numbers now wear it because they want to wear the same number as the person they grew up watching.
Right. Which is why Paul George wore 24.
Think
Because
he wore that for Kobe?
he did. That's what he said. In 2006, when Kobe changed his number from 8 to 24, he wanted to wear the same number as him when he got to the league.
Paul George
Everybody's number has a sentimental value to them, somehow, or some way.
It's not cool. LeBron grew up watching Michael Jordan. You can see by the way he plays. He does a lot of things. He did that dunk and then go back to playing it up. He did it, and he said he did it just because he thought of Jordan when he did it.
By the way, I believe I tagged you in the video that I shared, the identical plays of Kobe and Jordan.
Yeah.
What's
so
that?
I think Kobe's better offensively.
Well, I tell you what, there was another video I watched with the identical plays of Michael Jordan and Brian Scalabrine.
3 plays. They're impressive. I didn't think he could do it. I know how good he is.
Did you watch that one?
Yeah, I watched. Brian Scalabrine is really good. If you suck in the NBA, you're still a great basketball player. He held a one-on-one tournament, and he was just killing everybody, because if you make it in the NBA, you're good.
Yeah.
People just sleep on like, oh, he sucks. Play him one-on-one. But no, Kobe and
so you would never want to see anybody's number widely retired throughout the NBA.
Just Bill Russell's.
Just Bill Russell's?
11 championships.
What about Jerry West?
Well, he's got the logo. He don't need his number retired.
Okay, that is true.
A lot of people think Jordan should be the logo, which I don't. He's a great player. I don't think that. Jerry West, leave it how it is.
I mean, you can't change. Jordan has his own logo for his own company.
Right.
So I don't think you should just change the logo. It's kind of like an MLB. A lot of people widely it was a wide assumption that Harmon Killebrew was the logo, and you have no idea who Harmon Killebrew is, but it was widely assumed that he was the picture boy for the logo. And only a couple years ago, the man that created the logo said it wasn't him. It was just I just made it.
A silhouette.
Yeah, just a silhouette of a player. I mean, he didn't say the specific player. He didn't say anything like that. It was just, hey, I just drew it.
That guy was pretty self-arrogant. It was just a random person going like this. That could have been me.
Billy. That's all that needs to be said. Yeah, we've got a lot more to talk about.
Part 2.
So go ahead and flip it over real quick right now. We're out.
Hit the button.